Welcome to Diplomatic Channel. I am Amarachi Ubani. More than 60 million people around the world watched the final presidential debate between nominees of America's two main political parties, Donald Trump of the Republican Party and Hillary Clinton of the Democratic Party. I'm sure you've made up your minds as to who won the debate. We're not picking sides here, but for the first time since the debate started, we observed the Republican presidential nominee focus on the issues and throwing less insults at his rival. But then he went on and spoiled it all by refusing to acknowledge whether or not he would accept results of the election. 2 days later, he said he would accept the results only if he wins. America is believed to be one of the most stable democracies in the world. In fact, they become a reference point for how elections should be conducted. They have early voting to allow people who may not be available on election day to cast their ballots. They have 3 presidential debates which allow for nominees of the parties to face each other squarely on issues of national and global interests. And then there's orderly voting on election day when everything goes as normal. There's no restriction of movements in and around cities and states. Public institutions are not shut, and everything is pretty much the same election day, at least until the evening when the results start coming in, building a frenzy till late into the night when the candidates with the majority of the votes is eventually declared winner of the election. Then the rival has to prepare a speech in which he concedes. Donald Trump's statements about the outcome of the election, which he's been saying will be rigged, is worrisome because while it could change the course of American history, it could change the way the rest of the world perceives the free world.
Donald Trump, America's billionaire turned politician, has shown he's really got a shot at becoming the next president of the United States. He has campaigned like any politician. His tactics of bullying fellow politicians may be a little way out of line, but with little or no support from Republican leaders, he's trying to bulldoze his way to the White House. But of everything Donald Trump has said and maybe learned while on the campaign trail, he seems to have forgotten good sportsmanship by not acknowledging whether or not he would accept election results come November 8th. He backtracked a little on that statement he made during the debate to say he will accept the results if and only if he is elected president.
I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win.
His Democratic rival, Hillary Clinton, a veteran politician, knows how important it is to accept the outcome even in the face of defeat, and has learned how to graciously concede defeat to the winning opponent. Something that was seen when she lost the ticket to become the party's nominee to President Barack Obama in 2008. Electoral watchers know it's not just important to accept defeat and wish the opponent well, it is American. Legal experts say Donald Trump's unwillingness to accept results, no matter the outcome, election night, will throw American democracy into uncharted territory. But that under the U.S. electoral system, it is irrelevant whether the loser concedes or not, because the vote of the Electoral College is conclusive. Under the Electoral College system, Americans do not elect their president directly. They choose a slate of electors who pledge to vote for a certain presidential ticket, and a candidate needs to win 270 electoral votes to win the election. And though a winner is usually projected on election night, the official vote of the Electoral College does not take place until some weeks later. But under the U.S. system, a candidate can win the popular vote and lose the Electoral College, as was the case in the 2000 election. President Bush lost the national popular vote to Al Gore by 0.51%, but won the Electoral College by 271 votes to 266. At the final presidential debate, Trump said he would accept a clear election result, but would reserve his right to contend or file a legal challenge in the case of a questionable result. Experts say Trump could mount a legal challenge to contest the result or demand a recount under certain circumstances. But unless the vote margin is slim, his chances of his case being successful are low. The worry, however, is not in whether or not he can head to court or if the elections could be rigged, as purported by Trump, but the possibility that his comments could lead to violence on election night if he does not win.
Let's get some insights on this from an expert in American elections, Mr. Curtis Adigba. Mr. Adigba, thank you so much for joining us on Diplomatic Channel. What makes the American elections so intriguing for those of us who are not Americans?
Well, America is world leader in terms of multilateral agencies and organizations. Now, if you look at the United Nations, for instance, America has got a veto power. If you look at organizations like the World Bank, the IMF, they've got important say in who becomes the chief executive of those organizations. You look at the military, a strong, powerful military in the world. If you look at the economy, forget about the fact that the Chinese economy is growing at 6% GDP and all that. America remains the biggest economy in the world still. So whatever happens in America affects all the entire world. When they sneeze, we all catch fever.
What do you think that non-Americans have deduced from the 3 debates that have taken place so far?
Well, I think we're learning about the quality of the candidates. We're also learning about the issues that matters to Americans. Forget about the hot exchanges, the divisive rhetorics. Forget about the incendiary remarks and all that. But the truth of the matter is that we are learning that it is important to interrogate candidates. It is important to talk about the issues, and not just debates at talk show like we have here, or people think it's not even important at all to attend the debates. We're learning that the process in America is long, is grueling, and then the people get to understand. So you can't really hide yourself. And I think we need to do that in our part of the world so that we get to understand the candidates, the quality they bring, the understanding of issues. It's very key.
Yeah, very, very key indeed. And for the rest of the world, the millions of us who are watching from, a very long distance away and looking forward to the debates, looking forward to the elections in November, how does the American electoral process impact on all of us?
Well, the process, as we have seen, is long, is tortuous, is also very educating. The voters need to understand who is going to be their leader, and by extension, the leader of the free world. They want to understand your temperament, get to know and understand your temperament, your maturity, your understanding of issues. And we've seen that very clearly. That one of the things that Hillary keeps saying about Donald Trump is that Donald Trump is temperamentally unfit to be the president of the United States. We also heard that from President Obama, who says that, look, to be in the Oval Office, you need to be sober and calm. All right? You don't first of all shoot before you aim.
That's something he's done over 8 years.
That's something he's done over 8 years. And so he understands. And he also tells us that, look, listen, not me, not Bill Clinton, not Jimmy Carter, not Ronald Reagan. Nobody has prepared to be president more than Hillary, because she understands the issue. So debates help you to understand who is stable, who is sober, who understands the issues, you understand, and who can be an effective president.
When you said sober, it actually reminded me of something that Donald Trump said. He had called for a drug test for Hillary Clinton before the last debate, where he said that she had been so pumped up and all of that.
Yeah, when she came in.
Yeah, when she came in.
And when she was going back, she was.
She was worn out.
She was worn out. With Donald, you can't put anything beyond him. I was listening to Hillary Clinton and Donald during the Albert Smith.
The Al Smith dinner.
Al Smith dinner. And Hillary said, look, Donald wanted me tested for some performance enhancement drugs. He said, you know what? And Donald is right. That drug is called preparation. I was preparing for the debates. And you can see that. He said all kind of things. He said it's called Mexicans, rapists, thieves. It's called African Americans, lazy slobs. You know, he says there should be a total ban on Muslims from coming into America at some point. You know, and Hillary was jokingly said 3 days ago during the House meet and said, look, I don't know how President Obama will get into America because with the total ban on Muslims, because Trump believes that Obama is a Muslim. Yes.
Yeah, and he still believes he's not an American either. Now, speaking of Trump's rhetoric, he's been playing up one about the elections being rigged. Do you think that this will cast enough doubts in the hearts of voters as they go to the polls?
It's already casting. I mean, a lot of people, reading the polls today, 50% of Republicans already believe that the polls are rigged.
No way.
But it is impossible to rig these polls because in America, you don't have one election. You have 50 elections because all the states are in charge of their elections and local officials are in charge. For example, if you look at Florida, Florida has got 29 counties. Each of the counties have got different rules governing their elections. So how are you going to connive with all the local officials to rig this election? Secretaries of states of Republican parties have come out to say, no, Donald, this is not possible. In fact, it has been tested that in 1 billion votes, only 34 were found to be irregular in the past.
And that's not enough to make any impact.
It can't even make any
result.
impact in a county election, talk less of a presidential election. I think Donald is up to a game here. The game is to get his supporters to say, look, let's depress turnout for the Democrats. You know, if I'm already giving the impression that the outcome doesn't matter, no matter what we do, the outcome is already determined, then the Democrats will say, okay, well, Hillary might win, given the fact that Donald is not even too serious about this. So why do we need to turn out to vote for her? And that is why you see the Democrats now going out and say, look, just ignore Donald, go out there and do your thing.
No, but how dangerous is what he's saying? How dangerous is it, to have people think that the election is rigged? I mean, this is the United States.
Extremely dangerous, because that's again the substratum and the foundation of democratic governance in the U.S. in 240 years. All right? The strength of American democracy is the ability of the candidates to give up. Once the results are known, you concede and you congratulate. So what Donald is doing is very dangerous, extremely dangerous, because it's hurting the democratic process, it's casting doubt on the strength of American democracy, and that shouldn't happen.
Let's look at what he said about accepting results. He said that he would only if he wins. Yeah. What does that imply?
I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, like Hillary said during the last third debate, Donald only accepts when he wins. Even when he lost an Emmy Award, he tweeted and said it was rigged. You know, everything that does not favor Donald is rigged. And that's very, very unfortunate, because you also have to be magnanimous to accept the outcome. Look, losing the presidential election in America is one of the most painful things you can ever encounter in life. Because you would have worked for 2 whole years, your family would have been exposed, your business interests exposed, and then you are like just 2 feet away from the White House and you lose it. It can be very, very painful. And that's why you see the strength of American democracy, that in spite of all the money spent, energy, everything, a candidate will still stand once the results are known and said, congratulations to his opponent, and then he makes a concession speech. So it's key. It's key to their democracy.
And he not only makes a concession speech, he also offers his own services to the new president. He says, I'm willing to work, with the government and so on. Yes. But has there been any instance in the history of the United States where the loser has refused to accept the results?
Not any. The closest we had was Bush and Al Gore in 2000. And that situation was clearly different from what we're having right now. Now, the difference then between George Bush and Al Gore was 537 votes. And under the laws of Florida, once it's that close, there's an automatic recount. But before then, Al Gore had put a call to Bush to concede and to congratulate him.
Now stay with us on Diplomatic Channel, because up ahead, the Russian ceasefire over the Syrian city of Aleppo ends after 3 days. We check in on the situation there.